I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Little special voice note update. Sorry for the quality, but it looks like we'll be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of this podcast soon, and I'd like to do it in person. So if you listen to the podcast and you're in LA, great. If you're not, and you feel like this is something you want to come be a part of, we're thinking of beginning in mid-August, just to put that on your radar as it gets finalized. I will let you know more details, but just to give y'all a heads up, probably do an in-person live episode. Was take some questions and have some special guests. And I might rap a little bit, and we might have some like best rapper in LA mugs. Rilla 45. Yes, once again, before you get Rilla 44, because I'm traveling, y'all. Traveling at the speed. Is that a real song, or is it, I only know it from the Judgment Night soundtrack with De La?
Traveling at the speed of thought.
That song was, woo, classic. Rap Rock has had a rough roll. Question, feel free to answer DMs, Patreon, wherever you listen. Have we, or did we ever get Rap Rock right?
Hey, yo, kids!
What's up?
Remember when I used to be dope?
Yeah.
I own a pocket full of fame.
But look what you're doing now.
I know. Well, I know. I lost touch with reality. Now my personality is an unwanted commodity. Can't believe I used
There's lots of misses. I am one of the people who have done it wrong a lot. But like, it's never become a solid genre, I believe, because there's so many misses and very few people doing it right. But we'll talk about that later. Right now, we want to talk about Marry Me.
I'm looking for the one. They tell me stop looking, and everywhere I look, seem all the good ones tooken. Mistake taken, so heartbreaking. They say be patient, so I just keep waiting. Ring finger vacant, ain't gotta be perfect, but I'm hoping you adjacent. Close to it, go through it, baby, that's how most do it. Fake it till we make it, then attach some hope to it and let it float on. Bow tie dunks with my sport coat on. And we standing at the altar. I'm looking in your eyes, hoping that I don't falter. Cause I adore you, can't wait to explore you. Give me every luxury that I could afford you. You lead me or let me lead the way. As time goes on, I love you more each day. If you could, I'm down on one knee, hoping that it's all good to have you, to hold you.
So we're going from, pull up this track list, and I love it. It's for real. Marry Me, Love the Way. That's 4 joints, like love songs on a 10-song album. Nobody's hitting like this in rap. Can I get mine, please? Then you got Nina Ross, which is about a woman as well. Like, songs about women, and I have not said bitch once. Name a rap album that has 5 songs about women, and then not say bitch once. It never happened. And I will never get credit, and it's okay. I don't know if that's something that people were crediting, but that's the shit I consider feathers in my cap. All right, that's the shit. Fuck the platinum plaques. This is dope. I don't know. Marry Me is good. I mean, I don't know if Knife could have gave this a song to anyone else. Somebody else would have made a song about being married to the game or some shit. But nah, I wanted to be married. Recent talked to a friend, was like, yeah, we always knew that about you. You wanted to be married early, even when I was struggling with who I was and my morals and my relationship with Christ and all that. This is the ultimate goal. I'm looking for the one. They tell me stop looking. And if you look, it'll come to you when you're ready. Don't look, don't search. You're not going to find it, you know? Mistake, because all the good ones are taken. Mistake, taken. This is the DJ Quick shit. Like, me and my homie Roland are always talking about Fat Lips verse. You stop I think we talked about it on the pod. When you stop and correct yourself in a verse, it's just, wait, no, I didn't really pursue my political persistence with persistence.
Now there she goes again, the dopest Ethiopian. And now the world around me begins moving in slow motion whenever she happens to walk by. Why does the apple of my eye overlook and disregard my feelings no matter how much I try? Wait, no, I did not really pursue my little princess with persistence. And I was so low-key that she was unaware of my existence. From a distance I desired her, secretly admired her, wired her a letter to get her. And it was, my dear, my dear, my dear, you do not know me, but I know you very well. Now let me tell you about the feelings I've been for you when I try or make some sort of attempt. I simp. Damn, I wish I wasn't such a wimp.
That part is, yes, is whenever she happens to walk by. Why does that apple of my eye overlook and disregard my feelings no matter how much I try? Wait, no. Like, he's being honest. Wait, no. I didn't really pursue my little princess whooper. So it's not the same level of mistake taken. So heartbreaking.
I'm looking for the one. They tell me stop looking, and everywhere I look, seem all the good ones tooken. Mistake taken, so heartbreaking.
Talking to yourself in your raps is dope. Reading finger vacant, and looking for the one or something that's adjacent and a rap close to it. Go through it. I feel like you gotta dumb it down. Like I gotta dumb it down. Adjacent, close to it, most do it.
Hoping you adjacent, close to it, go through it, baby. That's how most do it. Fake it till we make it, then
attach some hope to it. Let it float on.
Let it float on, float on, float on.
Float on. Oldies always such a foundation of me as an MC. I wasn't into oldies a lot because I didn't have the potential to, or the expenses to, or even the knowledge to buy oldies, and they weren't making a lot of oldies compilations because, as we talk about now, like 50 years ago was the 80s, or you know how many those memes that are going around for Gen Xers, like oldies weren't really old when I was in the 80s. They were, they were still, I don't know, just old jams, but not like oldies. So the oldies were just forming. And by the time I was in the 90s, early 2000s, they were solidified so I could buy those like East Side Story volumes, all the doo-wop shit. And I'm sure they had a lot of licensing and recording and remastering it. But man, once I was able to start buying oldies, that's just like float on. So, I mean, there's a song that I looked for years and they just taking it off streaming again. I don't know what the issue is with it, but it's in a movie called Book of Love that came out, I think, late 80s.
The Book of Love. It's a rite of passage where not everything goes right.
Do you have a pencil in your pocket?
It was my first date. The girl I was in drama with, I talked about on last week's podcast. It was my first date with a girl. She was a white girl. And our parents dropped us off, and I I did the whole stretch your arm, I did the whole thing you watch on sitcoms. I don't know if that was our first kiss, and that movie was my first date movie. I bought her ticket, Book of Love, and there was an old school song by Tony Terry in there, but it wasn't. I've looked for it that's what really made me buy a lot of oldies compilations. I would spend money buying these oldies compilations trying to find this song, only to find out later in life that it was a song by Tony Terry, which was made in the 80s made to sound like an old school song. But through all the loss, I found it.
Forever yours, forever mine, my sweet, forever you, forever me to keep, forever and ever, oh, forever my number one, my number one, forever.
I love this song so much, and I can never remember the name of it, and it's not streaming anymore. It comes on streaming and disappears. But I love the song so much that this is how my Facebook got hacked. They're like, we want to do a live stream and see your setup. They email my booking agent. My booking agent vetted them. And my booking agency is like one of the biggest in North America, in the world. She's like, it seems like a good thing. They just want you to stream. They're going to pay you this and blah, blah. So just sign on. And they let them, like, make them an admin on your account. And they took it over. But they used Tony Terry. Like, we just did this with Tony Terry. I'm like, where's Tony Terry, man? I love to. I was like, this is a sign. I love, you know, how much money I spent trying to find this Tony Terry song. And then they hacked my Facebook. And it took me months to get it back. So if you've been on my Facebook, that's what happened. Fucking Tony Terry and the song. But my oldies, I always reference them. Let It Float On. Bow tie with my sport coat on. There was these pinstripe dunks. They had some patent leather blue and patent leather black. I bought these to get married in. It came with like a suit, a cheap sport coat and pants with purple pinstripes inside that matched the dunks. I kept these dunks. The dunks were just a size too small because I got there late. Or maybe they just felt small because the patent leather was not what the dunks were usually made out of. And it came with a pinstripe shirt with a little dunk embroidered patch. I kept all these things for the day I would get married because I wanted to get married to that. You guys want to know what I wore in my first wedding? I'll tell you at the end. But yeah, that's how obsessed I was with marriage. I knew what I was wearing. I didn't know who I was going to marry. As we're talking, I married one of the women that I'm writing this song about. And as the more I listen to it, I definitely think I am being slick and mentioning things that could appeal to anyone, any woman. But that was also a thing. I was always very specific, and my mother criticized my music of being specific where not everybody can relate. So because I'm so literal, I'm not leaving space. At the end of this verse, give you every luxury that I could afford you. I flubbed it. These are the things that stick with you. I never liked listening to this song because of this flub and a couple other spots where I felt I could have done better, but Ninth would not let me have another take.
In your eyes, hoping that I don't falter. Cause I adore you, can't wait to explore you. Give me every luxury that I could afford you. You lead me or let me lead the way. As time goes on, I love you more each day. If you could, I'm down on one knee, hoping that it's all good. To have you, to hold you, to cherish you forever. Build a family and some memories to treasure. The first day of the rest of our life, we stand together as husband and wife. Family and friends get together, throw rice. If you say yes, it would be so right if you would.
So my little homie that grew up in my neighborhood, he got married to this song. And he told me he was going to play in his wedding. I was proud, and he was so proud to tell me that he was getting married and using my song and excited to tell me. And I was like, beyond, I've known him since he was, 12, 10, 11, I don't know, something like. I've known this little, yeah, he's a young man to me, but as you get older, that gap doesn't seem as big. But like, man, like, that's so dope. Thank you so much, man. Like, so I've heard other people have used it a couple here and there. The mix isn't the best. I wish you would have mixed it better. I wish I could have got a mastered delivery. I think more people it could have been more of a wedding jam. But how many hip hop wedding jams are there? There's jams you play at wedding, but there's not really, to me, it's not as good musically as We Ain't Getting No Younger. We might as well do it. Keep me at We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. What the fuck is romantic about that? This song is way more romantic, but let's get married. I just wanted that. But that's how I was too. Like, and when I ended up getting married, it's basically that. Like, we ain't getting no younger. Like, man. But it also is like musical chairs. If you're not going to be extremely wealthy, I feel like, man, you don't have too long to choose, because someone's going to take that wonderful partner and make an honest woman out of her, as they say, while you're bullshitting. And then you're going to be, who knows, alone at the bar in 80. But is that a bad thing? As long as it's what you want. When I find, like, I ignored R&B for so long. I had one homegirl that I dated for a while in New York, and she made me love 112 Peaches and Cream. But other than that, man, like, that kind of got me tuned into new R&B, but then as soon as I tuned in, I heard the next thing and I tuned out again. Yeah, man. Second verse, back to Father MC.
I wanna treat you like a queen, cook and clean. The Father MC to help you live the dream. The house, the children, a future worth building. Please and use the art that I wanna be skilled in. A million kisses, 1,000 roses. You're my everything, without you I'm hopeless. I go the extra mile to make sure you know this. Put you on a throne for the world to notice. And know this, it only gets better. What we have here is the truth forever. Whatever happens, my love is unchanging. My shining star, my sun in the raining. The good, the bad, the hurt, the pain in. The times we drive each other insane in. Won't always like you, but never not love you. And solemnly swear to put nothing above you. If you could, I'm down on one knee, hoping that it's all good. To have you, to hold you, to cherish you forever. Build a family.
Brother Ali and Father MC, if there have been two MCs mentioned on this podcast, they have been mentioned, and I still love them both. I know a brother and a father. You put some type of male family name, I guess I need to start talking about Uncle Snoop or Uncle Murder, Cousin Stiz. But yeah, that line's from him. Treat you like a queen, cook and clean. I think the vocals are a little too aggressive for a marriage song. But that's because a lot of these songs I would be just laying out to see if Ninth liked it and think foolishly, even by the third album, foolishly thinking that I would get another shot to do the vocals. But nope. Yeah. First Wedding was an amazing party. And with all due respect, probably all downhill from there. I'm joking, but great party though. Great party. And I ended up wearing some Chingo Bling ostrich boots. I asked him to send them to me for my wedding. He did. Custom with the Nike swoosh, blue and light blue and navy blue ostrich cowboy boots with the Chingo Bling Nike swoosh on it. It was like a vaquero hat with a fucking Nike swoosh.
I got Ostrich Force ones with the belts to match. About 6 or 7 days, another bird gon' hatch.
I still have them, and I love cowboy boots. There is a restaurant in LA called Swingers on Beverly, and across the street used to be a cowboy boot shop. And I don't know how or why I ended up in there trying on cowboy boots. Day drunk, I think. Maybe not. Maybe that was why. Maybe I was stone sober. Yeah, gosh, I wasn't even drinking at this time. So I was stone cold sober. Sobriety can make you psych. When I first, Mr. Dibbs was more insane when he was sober than when he started drinking to me. And I don't like to perform sober because I'm too intense. My kids kind of wear me down. I don't need that. They are my opiate or they can block the crazy frequency. I can be sober because the kids are my purpose of being sober, and it requires all of my focus to parent. So I'm not off the edge. But I think that maybe it's hyper intelligent. I'm going to say I'm hyper intelligent, or people with active minds. Like that's how they tested me for the magnet program, because I was just fucking around in class. And then the teacher had a great teacher's benefit, I think, of having, luckily my first grade teacher just overlooked it. And my second grade teacher was like, because she was like, he's not bad. He's really smart. He's just bored. And I think when you get bored, your mind needs things. And my kids, I have 4 boys, so I have enough. But at this point, I guess I was eating, and I've been eating at this diner for so long. They have the best jukebox, and now the waitresses have bought the restaurant after so many years, and they run it. I went in with my family. America has a way of treating kids like a fucking nuisance, and so do certain patrons of establishments, and I fucking hate that shit. Don't look at me like I'm the motherfucker. This is life. This is new life. You better be fucking happy and smile at my kids. And if it wasn't for because of my kids, it makes me angry. But if it wasn't for my kids, I probably would spit on you and slap the shit out of you. How dare you look at babies and then the ones that kill me and then smile at a dog. The kids are a nuisance, but the dog is cool. Fuck you. But the ladies at Swingers are so kind. My kids are, and also I know my kids do push the limits. My kids are feral vegan children. They are wild as fuck. But at least smile before they start to fuck shit up. And they're cute as fuck. My kids are cute as shit. But yeah, they were so kind to us. So yeah, if you're ever in LA, go to Swingers. But across from Swingers, which is now going to be fucking apartments or condos or something, there was a cowboy boot shop. And I'm thinking now, I'm retracing my steps. I'm like, how the fuck does this place stay open in West LA and Beverly Hills adjacent Hollywood? Like, how do you afford your rent? Like, now that I've been a store owner and manager and investor, I'm like, what the fuck's going on in this old ass dingy sign with a shitty, and I'm looking at the signage and I have homies that do hand painted signs now and tattoo homies. And I'm like, the signs are shitty. The hand painted sign is shitty. The fucking, what the fuck is this slum? They sell cowboy boots? Fuck it. I'm going to go in here and buy a used pair of cowboy boots. And man, guy told me the whole trick, like buy some Dr. Scholl's insoles, but cowboy boots are some of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn in my life. This is the Murs for President era. So this is another Murs for President story. But around this time, I started wearing these cowboy boots every fucking where. Basketball shorts and cowboy boots. Everywhere. With my fucking dreadlocks sticking up crazy. My management team was, same as Snoop's management team basically at the time. But we hadn't really hung out. We're still hoping he would get on the album. He was all, he's a dog. He's busy. The legend was that he slept 2 hours a day at 4 times a day. He was so fucking busy. He called me and said, Dog wants to meet, Corrupt wants to meet you. They got a beat. They want to just do a session. Can you come down? I said, sure.
OGs, hood rats, and the punk popos. Autograph photos and dip low. Ride slow with the top pulled back. Pulling on some of that, sipping on some yak stars with the Mars. Splurge with Murs, blank out, make out. Stay way up, cause it's about to go down for real.
And I guess it's like my projecting, like I wanted to go in as weird as possible, but I was also doing this everywhere. I put on my cowboy boots. I'm just at my apartment, my drawers. I hop up, put on some cowboy, and I look at it and I say, yeah, I'm wearing the cowboy boots with my hair. And he said, he was so embarrassed. Murs, why you, man, Russ is the greatest dude. Why you wear that up here? I said, I don't give a fuck, cuz I'm out here. Like this is how I'm not going to dress like Crip. I'm not going to, nothing. Fuck it. This is how I usually watch the 7-Eleven. I'm going to just come out full me. That might have been the first time I met Snoop. I could have played it many other ways, but definitely no one ever, or at least they didn't forget it after that day. I said, Murs, I don't think he was there. He called me back and like, Murs, why did you wear that? They told me that you showed up with basketball shorts and cowboy boots. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're crazy, Murs. That's what during my relationship with Russ, because he's like a regular black person from LA, it was like fucking people up because like Steph Simon from Tulsa, he just met my family, came to the house, and he's just like, you are a real nigga. Like, you are a black person, but you are not. What the fuck is wrong? Like, it's a thing. So Russell was like, Murs, you're crazy. Why are you so crazy? Murs, crazy. Anyway, I got married. I had Chingo, so I had taken the cowboy boots. I had Chingo Bling make me some for the wedding, and then I still couldn't find a suit to go with it. And then we were doing something for the wedding. Oh, I got married at Wild West Amusement Park. And so my best man had to wear cowboy shit. And I was looking for my cowboy shit. And we were gonna do like Buffalo Soldiers, black cowboy, early, Black history related. And I couldn't find a Buffalo Soldiers thing. But then I saw this fucking NASA suit, and I called my ex-wife and was like, can I wear this? And she's like, I don't care. So I wore a space suit and cowboy boots. And then it hit me. After I did it, put all together, Steve Miller. So I walked down the aisle to the Steve Miller. Some people call me Space Cowboy. Some people call me the Gangster of Love.
the space cowboy. Yeah, some call me the gangster of love.
Aside from adopting my child, probably the best part of the marriage. Or best part of me being married. Not to say that I'm not any judgment. It didn't work out. No one's an asshole. No one's a mother. Not shitting on anyone, but that was my most enjoyable. Not that there weren't enjoyable moments, but that's a peak because it was legendary. And it just came. It wasn't like I knew I was going to do joke. Like I've been planning on getting married to wearing this dunk suit, but it was just one of those spur of the moment things. I was like, that with these shoes works perfectly. Oh shit, Space Cowboy, boom.
Some people call me Maurice.
And it was a great party. All the homies came, like Shock G, Brother Ali, Mama Joe came, Hip Hop Mom came, my homie Doug C. Oh man, we will get to Murs for President. Doug C came to film on the Murs for President tour. Doug C is a Korean dude from Long Beach. We would go places. Doug is just a LA kid. That's what I love about like LA. If you're Filipino, whatever, like people, especially middle America, they're going to think that English is your second language. You know what I mean? And when fools are like, oh, what's up, man? You Japanese or something? Nah, fool, I'm Korean. He would say, I'm Korean, fool. He manages tour managers for Suicide Boys. I used to say Doug C is my spirit animal. He has such positive energy, man. Doug C is just one of the most memorable humans. And Doug C was there. So it was a great party. But I did not play this song. So that should have been a sign, right? Love the way, love the way, love the way.
Oh, baby, I love the way. I love the way that you're walking. The sexy way that you're talking. Got everything that I'm missing. Girl, I love the way. Oh, baby, I love the way. Baby, the way you say my name. You make a man insane. Ain't here to play no games. I love the way. Oh, baby, I love the way.
The way we sleep together, we spoon so perfect. Make the girl I met last June seem worthless. The way your fingers fit right into my hand. Perfect height and age, perfect shade of tan. Sitting in the sand, watching sunset simple. Dinner and a movie, quality tiempo. Laid back tempo, nothing too fast. Slow and easy, making this relationship last. Laying in the bed, I'm warm and I'm cozy. Slide next to me, put your cold feet on me. The best part about you, the worst part about you. That's how I know I love you and I can't live without you.
Oh, baby, I love the way. I love the way that you're walking. The sexy way that you're talking. Got everything that I'm missing. Girl, I love the way.
The way he sings the hook, man, this is Tyler Woods. He sings on Love and Appreciate too. I think Knife was very influential on certain. He wouldn't let me redo certain parts for flubs, but he did correct me as we get to the second verse.
Turn off the Xbox, get my attention, kiss me stripped down, get down to business. Still ain't old, so many years later, didn't think it could, only got greater. Inside and outside, I know every part of you, know where you're going before you even start to move. Now that don't mean I don't love every minute. Now I'm spinning in your arms when we hug. They say we boring, all we do is watch TV. You like cooking for me, your girl say it's cheesy, corny, traditional. All day I'm missing you. Vision of us sitting on the couch and I'm kissing you.
Oh, baby, I love the way.
Kicked out the kitchen, I always leave a mess. You know my strawberry Kool-Aid is the best. Yes, I always love you, hope it never changed. The way you kinda smile when you start to say my name. I love the way that you do you, and I hope you love the way that I'm doing you too.
Oh, baby, I love the way.
Like I'm talking about Spoon, so perfect. I'm watching Sunset, simple. Dinner and a movie, quality tiempo. Yes, I'm still trying to be down with my Spanglish, but yo, who is rapping about quality tiempo? Dinner and a movie, Sunset, simple. Slide next to me. Put your cold feet on me. Ninth, I had a bunch of words right there. He told me, just say, slide next to me, then you want to put your cold feet on me. I think I was like, no, and he's like, no, nigga, just slide next to me, put your cold feet on me. So he would let me redo that. He's like, say it like that. And then we boom, back, done. Great engineer was a producer, vocal producer and beat maker. And it worked. That line is cold. Like everybody experienced that. I hadn't heard that in a rap song yet. Turn the Xbox off, get down to business. Like having your woman where you playing the game, as kids say, come up in her lingerie and turn it off and you're mad, but you're not mad. That's a sexy thing in a relationship. And I know other guys could relate. So I wanted to put that in. Didn't think it could, only got greater. Now that don't mean I don't love that. Ninth did that whole cadence. He said, do that, do this, do that. And then didn't think it could. I had more words in there. He said, Paul, only got greater. And then we got to the next part. He's like, and I said, and that doesn't mean I don't love, like I was probably saying something corny and very arrhythmic. And he was like, no, you gotta, and he does this, I could see his fingers still going up there. Now that don't mean I don't love every minute that I'm spending in your arms when we hug. And he does this head bobble when we move his hand. But it helps me. When I was doing Hip Hop DX, the breakdown.
What up though, I'm Murs, Hip Hop DX, and this is the breakdown. Underground rap. What is underground? Why is underground rap underground?
I would like try to sit like a news anchor. And then when I started using rap hands, it was so much easier for me because I used to have a 10-minute monologue that I would try to memorize in chunks because we had to switch camera angles, but we wanted to get some continuous shots. And I would write it, but I would remember it because it didn't rhyme. It's harder for me to remember, but I was like, it doesn't rhyme, but if I move my hands like it is a rap, it helps me to remember it. And when Knife was giving me direction, kind of like he's like a composer or whatever them dudes called. The dude, what's the fucking Mozart in the Jungle ass motherfuckers, conductor that stands there. He's a conductor, producer conductor, and it worked. I love that cadence, and I love it so much. I'm been patting myself on the back on this podcast, but that part I gotta get a ninth. I want to give him his due.
Kicked out the kitchen, I always leave a mess. You know my strawberry Kool-Aid is the best. Yes, I always love you, hope it never changed. The way you kinda smile when you start to say my name. I love the way that you do you, and I hope you love the way that I'm doing you too.
Oh baby, I love the way.
Yeah, man, kitchen is a mess. You know my strawberry Kool-Aid is the best. Like, just, learning that for a long time I thought I was going to be the weirdo, stay-at-home dad, house husband for a brilliant girl that went to Cal Berkeley or some other type of field because we make intelligent music. We meet lots of intelligent women. Cool, I'll help you fulfill your dream. I just want to play with the kids and cook. And slowly realizing that what I was going to get was a traditional marriage where I've never had a partner pay the bills, but I rarely cook. Not that I think I can if I know I can, but it's a skill that has fallen by the wayside. And thank God I'm married to a wonderful cook now. But learning, like, if you do cook and you go in a woman's kitchen that you're living with, don't fuck up the kitchen. Or if you're not going to cook and you're just making Kool-Aid or grabbing a beer, like, try to leave shit normal. And now it's out the window. But, cooking for your husband is like seeing it. Like, I've dated women who their friends would talk shit about them. Like, why are you cooking for him? And being married to someone who's confident in that role and knowing that being a homemaker is the most important job to me on planet Earth. And learning, for me, it was like learning like, oh, like, you don't open the door for a woman because she's weak. You open the door for a woman because traditionally when you went to a house, a woman was like, can I get you something to drink? Can I get your coat? Take off your shoes, blah, blah, blah. Like, she would serve you. So when a woman was out in the world, this is how I understood it, and it was explained to me by a gentleman. So when a woman's out in the world, men serve her and protect her. When you come into a woman's home, and it's like turned into like a man's house. No, to me, it's a woman's house. Like, the decisions made when my kids ask, can I have this to eat? Like, ask your mother. Like, she runs this motherfucker. I just fund this shit. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? What needs to be done? Like, you're calling the place, the domestic executive officer or whatever, or even like family, like the CEO of the family. Like, I'm the CFO, but I'm not the COO, CFO, COO, and God is the CEO if I can get into my Baptist bag. But like, she runs operations. I'm just like, I don't know. I can barely remember what the fuck's going on, bro. What are we doing every night? What are we doing tomorrow? What do you need me to do? Because I've been taking orders from a woman my whole life, and things just work better like that. I go bring some money in this motherfucker, but, and I do the, bills kind of, but fuck, man. So realizing like that's the kind of relationship I wanted, and seeing the pushback from other women on that was weird to me. And being that I kind of got pushed into that role, I wanted to be the other way. I was definitely like, yeah, a woman needs to be out in the world and blah, 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 blah. And then it turned out like that's not what I needed from my partner. I don't shit on career women or whatever, but it's weird to me how women who value their careers shit on women who value their work in the home. I think there should be a lot more mutual respect. Like, I don't shit on my homies that have 9 to 5s because I rap for a living. I guess I kind of used to, maybe, but that's just not what I wanted. But shit, man, if I could get a fucking weekly check or bi-weekly check with healthcare, motherfucker, what? And some of my homies have fly 9 to 5. Shout out to Kamani. Literally flies on private jets for his 9 to 5. And that's love the way.
Once again, we up here at Winnie the Pooh Studios. It's a beautiful day in North Carolina. Slight chill. When 5 degrees out of the northwest, I don't know what the hell that means, but it is. And it's been 3 albums, and we ain't never really just sat back and talked to you. But I told you all kind of stories. Y'all know everything about my life. Y'all probably done read everything on the internet about Knife. Know what computer we use, and hell. And me, I just like, man, I've been so miserable, crib unlivable, drive around my city, feeling so pitiful, small getting to me, traffic got me stressed, my little mama say I'm basically a hot mess, trying to make some bright days out of dark nights, Q locked up, I know I gotta write, money on his books, shoot a quick kite, telling myself it's gonna be alright, finally bought Pops a headstone this year, 10 years of grave set unmarked clear. Wasn't always the best dude to be around. Missing much more, now we laying in the ground. Wish he was around to ask him for advice. Wonder what he say about the women in my life, but nah. Cause he couldn't get it right, and he never did get to see me rocking on the mic. If your father's still living, I beg you to forgive him, cause he's just another man who has lost his religion. And me, I'm trying to find mine. The man in black been walking that line between faithful and infidelity. She on MySpace and she telling me she wanna come to the crib into what? 19, dark skin with a big old butt, man. The internet is a monster. Excuse my flow, it's my stream of conscious. I keep veering off on topics. It's just because y'all my favorite people to talk with. I'm sorry to tell all my business, man. On the real,
Mursinatra starts with live from Winnie the Booth. Winnie the Booth. So we did it in the pause. We did it in the basement of the. We recorded in the basement. We recorded music in the basement of dental office, and then we moved to his house, Winnie the Booth. I'm sure the movement has something to do with. That's like how much Knife didn't really talk about the little brother breakup with me. He never said like why we had to move, but I just kind of understood that because they all used to record there. Like either they were still recording there or they just split and went to new spaces individually. I never knew, but I was like, all right, we're rapping at your house. Like we could see the kids and your family, your dad, your mom, like everybody. Okay, cool. It was it. But Winnie the Booth is what we called it because it had a Winnie the Pooh blankets as a sound thing. But I think this album was remixed. Listen to this song, man. Phew. Maybe now, yeah. Go back and listen. So it's under Ninth Wonder and Murs, Sweet Lord, if you want to find it. Love is everywhere.
Mursinatra.
Yeah. And so maybe we broke tradition this time. We did this song because it says this. I say on there that this is the last song. I am about to go to the airport to watch my brother graduate from the University of Florida, the first person in my immediate family and even the first person from my grandfather had 3 kids. My mom had 2 kids. His son had 2 more kids. My brother was the first of our line family tree to graduate. The ones that moved west. Everyone else, maybe all 11 or at least 11 or 12 of his brothers, 11 out of the 12 other of his brothers and sisters all had children or grandchildren that had graduated college. My grandfather was the first born boy of the 13, and none of his kids went to college, and I didn't go to college. And so now this is a big deal. And it took my brother 7.5, 8 years to do this shit. And, man, yeah, for my brother, bro, that was big, seeing his growth. So yeah, I was about to go on a flight. And I do rap about this flight on another song on Take It Easy, My Brother Murs. I think it's on Proof of God.
I was on the flight to see my brother graduate college. Down in Gainesville. Stuck in the swamp when I took my first pain pill.
I get to the airport and they're like, we canceled that flight. Not like they just didn't sell enough seats to go from Gainesville. I think we're going to Gainesville or Jacksonville or somewhere. And I was like, what? I was like, my brother is graduating, bro. And I think that's what happened. I had to get a first class ticket on the flight the next morning and barely made it. Something like that. But I think it enabled us to do this song. But my brother graduated and it's fucking, maybe he'll let me post a picture. I have the jankiest outfit of all time. I kind of just refused to wear a suit and tie. One of the Rasta homies told me something about like a noose and ties being noose. And it's just European fashion anyway. Like, I'm good, bro. But yeah, I did have a sport coat and some beads, some gator beads. Anyway.
I just like, man, I've been so miserable, crib unlivable, drive around my city, feeling so pitiful, small getting to me, traffic got me stressed, my little mama say I'm basically a hot mess, trying to make some bright.
Man, I've been so miserable, crib unlivable, blah, blah, blah. Like just me actually falling out of love with LA because I can't be in LA the way I want to be in LA at this point. We'll start the next one off talking about the new car and all the problems that came with that, or for somewhere they'll get told at some point. But just living in the Palazzo, like living in the Valley was hard. I'm an LA dude. Like it's not the LA to me. No disrespect, but it's just not my LA. I got back in LA, but I can't really live in my neighborhood because no one will rent to me. So I had to live in this fancy ass place that's in LA, but it's not in LA. It's in the center of LA, but I'm like I can't even be around the homies. Like, and now I'm like hanging out with my girl all the time, or a girl. And also like I'm working myself ragged. I was doing TV hosting, doing a festival, recording an album, still trying to record this album with Ninth, having a dog that sleeps indoors for the first time, taking care of a dog, like all these things, having a regular workout regimen, trying to stay sober. Like, I was a fucking mess. So that's what gets my little one to say I'm just a hot mess. Like, I was like, man, fuck this traffic, fuck everything. Like, it was stressful, man. Like having to like go to Burbank and like be out. And that's what I learned, the living in LA as a rapper at tours. And when you're not on tour and your homies are touring them, everybody's like, yo, I'm in LA. What's up? Come out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come out. Yeah, I'm going to come out. Yeah. And you end up out every night. It was a lot. But for me also, like, trying to figure out what was next. Around this time, I come to the realization of, or maybe second time, I feel like we've talked about in the podcast of like, I thought I was going to be dead by the time I was 16 or 18. There's a documentary called Burn Motherfucker Burn that my homie Sasha Jenkins did.
Should catch on fire. It wasn't a riot. You know, it was a rebellion against oppression.
What would make all the rioting stop?
I don't think it ever stopped, really.
The legacy of 1965 is that pretty much every major city during this period experienced some type of urban uprising.
Gangs were formed to protect us from those who would come in and prey on the community.
We were trying to make a difference, make a change, make our people feel better about themselves.
And he interviews my grandfather and my mother mostly about the 92 riots and the Watts riots. My family, the Bowers and Sons Cleaners, Please Bring Your Clothes, has been on the same block in South Central and unscathed or not burned for the 65 rebellion or Watts. I think it's 65 for Watts, and the 92 rebellion or uprising or riot or whatever you want to call it. So they wanted their perspective as a black business that's been in the community. And at the end, they talk about me. I'm staying with my mind. So we're 3 generations deep in this, and they're talking about me. And I was like, told my mom, I used to tell my mom, I used to be so angry and revolutionary at what I thought was revolutionary. Like, I was like, I'm just going to walk into a police station and fucking commit suicide by cop. Like, if I live and I'm not incarcerated by the time I'm 18. I just knew it. Like with my temperament and what was going on, like, but hip hop, man, hip hop saved me. Hip hop, drove me down the revolutionary path a little bit. And then like when Dell and like, just like the alternative scene like popped off, like it gave me a hard left. And being able to move out of the inner city for 3 years and like get some perspective before I got thrown back into it, that saved my life. Cause it's more than getting bused to another school. Cause that's not, enough. But having like my middle school years, my formative years, like in another environment really gave me the perspective needed to survive. But I didn't think I would. Like I remember we moved back to LA in the June of 92. And so April 92, I was telling my mom, I'm gonna take the bus. I gotta be out in the field. And man, like God's planning is so divine. Like my mother could have decided to leave my stepfather at any time during that thing. If she had never married him and we had just moved back to Midtown from Linwood, like it's a wrap for me. If we moved back, because, at the beginning of the next school year, during spring break, if we move back any other time pre-April 92, I guarantee you it's a different life for me. Because I'm outside burning shit, looting, whatever. I'm with all the bullshit. And it's just far enough. Also thankful to LA's poor public transportation. Technically, I think it's 18 miles from LA, but I wasn't going to get there in time for no action. And no buses were going in there by the time I would have been able to get in. But falling out of love with the city because I couldn't be in the city, and just in general was a big thing. Because here at LA, if you know me, I love the city. But I like, oh man, this is like, I need a break. And when you have a partner, your partner gets to see everything. And any woman I was close to, like, you're a fucking wreck. Like, I was probably not a healthy person to be around. I was healthy. I was like vegan, working out, not drinking, trying to be monogamous, but mentally and spiritually, I was, woo. Yeah. Yeah. One of my homies came home and then went right back. There's a whole story behind it. Like just basically trying to do the right thing, and the fucking justice system, man, failed him. The prison reform system failed him. He did not fail to meet every single requirement. And he came home, and it just, man, if I was at liberty to discuss the things that I see some of my friends go through, man, it's really not fair, bro. It's just not fair. So just, telling myself like that weighed heavy on me. Cause my life is picking up. I'm doing things I never thought I didn't, trying to figure out what to do. I didn't think I was going to live past 18. What am I to do now? What am I going, like, I didn't have any plans for the future. This is like with my rap career now too. Like I've done everything I wanted to do in rap. I didn't think I was going to be on this planet being with my freedom this long. If I was alive, what the fuck is up? What do we do? Okay, I guess I got to get married. Like this is what happens. Like I got to get married and have some kids, but I'm a rapper. I'm not, nobody else. Who am I talking to about being married? No, none of my, no, I want kids. No one's talking about this shit. It was just a very, 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 very confusing time. And yeah, seeing like the reality, like, man, when my friends get locked up, like I'm no better than him. Like I'm no better than this dude. This is my homie. This is my brother. This is somebody I would kill for, that would kill for me, that I would die for. Like this could be me. A couple choices, intangibles switch around, watching Dark Matter, if you're watching it on Apple TV, like just, yeah, choices we make veer off into different realities in that show. But yeah, I'm like a couple choices away from that. And also like not even conscious choices. I said choices that my parents made those choices for me that put me in a different position, and choices other people's parents made put them in a position where they had no choice but to be where they are. And my grandfather always says, like, we would drive by homeless people on our way to like work on one of his apartments or building projects, and he'd just be like, man, but for the grace of God, there go I. Like that is so true. So yeah, that was just weighing on me, man. And then we get to like finally bought Pops a headstone this year. Like I buried the man who never went to one baseball game, who gave me life and then left when I was 3.5. And I didn't see him till he was dying when I was 15. And I saw him maybe once after that, one summer. And then came to my graduation, which I didn't want to go to graduation or prom, but I think my mom like bribed me with some fat farm. I think we talked about that. To walk the stage, or she bribed me with a place to live. She's like, if you walk the stage, then you can stay here and keep rapping. And I thought that was cool until she saw the 0.5 GP on the report card. And I think she got to give me that one. I think she kicked me out. I guess I failed to meet the requirement, but no, I graduated. There was no GPA requirement with the graduate. I walked the stage. But my father got to see that. And after that, he died. Which was heavy to me was because it was like, it showed like the life. I'm sure it helped me eventually get sober or get over, manage my alcohol addiction. After we visited my pops, he was like, needed a liver transplant. He had drank himself to death. My father was one of 8 kids in Columbus, Ohio. His mother and father had triplets and 5 other kids, I believe. 4 other kids. So he's one of 7 kids. And his mom passed away. And then his dad just left after that. Like, I can't take care of 7 kids with no wife. And so they all went into social services. My dad was in 6th grade or something like that. And then my auntie said, his younger sister just said, like, after that, he found what foster home she went to. And he stopped going to school so that he could walk her to school and be there, pick her up. And she said he was smoking cigarettes and he had a teacup that he would have filled with vodka every day, pick her up from school. That was his life. So fucking right. Like the choices made for him didn't allow him to be my father. But his anger, if we get into epigenetics and everything he gave me, wouldn't have allowed us to cohabitate. I would have killed him. He would have killed me. So the best thing he ever did for me was stay the fuck away from me. And allegedly he told my mother when I was touring in Europe, like, to calm down, like, he's going to be all right. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I know it. He's going to be good. And I was. And he might have been the only person that could tell her that. But when it came to when I realized, like, yo, I can't even go see him. Like, not that I have a relationship with him, but he deserves at least a headstone. He can't just sit in an unmarked grave. Like, that shit bothered me. And when I started to have money, I was like, all right. So we had to go to the office, find out like where he was. And like, I didn't know my dad's birthday. I didn't know shit about him. But me and his sister went out and my auntie, and I paid for it. We got it done. And I went back to see it. And every time I would tour and be in Columbus, I would go and like kick off the dust and shit and fuck with cuz like that. That was a moment for me, like becoming the man, or becoming like, I can be a father now. Like I've made peace with that. He's good wherever he's at. God bless him. And then like, what could, wonder what he would say. Like, it's like, even at that point, I was like feeling bad for him more than my anger towards him that I had turned into, I guess I was telling a story about how he passed away, but my anger towards him turned into like, damn, pity. Like, fuck, bro. I'm like out here really doing it. Like a nigga's on TV, cuz like you can't even see this shit. Like despite everything that we had against us, cuz like you had against you and I had it going against me. We did that. Like against all odds. Like it's one of my favorite Tupac songs. That's like that. Like we made it. He didn't get to see, but I just knowing that he believed. And there was one point at one show around this time, my mother grabbed me and she said, your father would be so proud. And I lost it, man. I lost it. I didn't know I needed to hear that. I didn't know I wanted to hear that. And I talked about last week, like, I'm not really a person that like needs people to tell me shit. But that one, that one hit me right in the corazón. Man. But yeah, so he wasn't supposed to live. And then when we went to visit him, I think the nurses, someone in his family hit my mom, said he's dying. He wants to see the boys. So we flew out to Columbus. I haven't seen this dude that I could really, like, I have vague memories of him. My brother has none. We go in, we eat with him, we chill with him. And then magically he gets a fucking heart transplant. I mean, they find a liver for him. I don't know if the nurses like felt bad for him because his kids actually showed up. He got a second chance. And I think there should have been some mental health professionals on staff to help him. But he went back to being him. Whatever happened, he slipped in the bathroom. And when you have a donated organ, I believe you have to take some type of medication because the organ is constantly, I think, rejecting you or something like that. I'm not sure. But he has medication you have to take, or I think the organ will shut down or try to, like, basically the way I was explained to me was that it will kill you. And when he fell, he had alienated and wronged so many people in his life at the moment, once again, that nobody was checking for him. And he was found by some motherfucker he owed money that kicked in the door and found him. But he fell in the bathroom and got wedged somewhere where couldn't get up or unconscious, and he couldn't get to his pills. And he died alone on a floor in a bathroom. That's a saying. A girl dated a girl and her grandmother was older, and she's like, you never know who's going to bring you your last cup of water. And that's bad enough to know that, I think one of my father's sister was saying that about their father. Like when their father died, they finally found him. He was dying and she was taking care of him, and he couldn't believe it because of how foul he was to her, and just walked out on them. But you could be so foul to where there's nobody around to give you that cup of water. Like, you could be a piece of shit, but at least, like, keep some motherfuckers around. I think my dad did it so good that that was it. Yeah, man, podcast getting deep, bro. What do you say about the woman in my life? This is like the huge struggle of this record, man. Trying to find religion, to talk about, like, just still trying to find my religion, finding this exposed, like the man in black. If your father's still living, I beg you to forgive him. He's just another man who has lost his religion. I see so many people hold grudges against their parents, and I'm just like, man, bro. One of my wife's friends, I had to talk to him. I was like, yeah, you're mad because your parents sent you to boarding school in high school, and you turned out to do what? You live in a nicer house than me. Like your mom and my mom grew up making your parents, you had both of your parents. They made a decent wage. They weren't rich, and they sent you to boarding school, and you became very wealthy. And your problem with them is what? And kind of, in a kind way, as our kids play together, I was like, bro, like, man, let me tell you about my dad. Like, tell you what my mom went through. And it's like, I don't get it, man. Like, just a genuine, like, it bewilders me. I'm befuddled. I'm like, huh? That's your issue? Like, man, I didn't even own a house. I had a car. I had very few assets. And I was like, let me just do right by my dad. Just because cuz caught a raw deal. But if your parents chose to give you higher education and in the end it worked out for you, come on, man. If not for you, for your kids, like, let them be grandparents. Give your parents a better chance to be better parents. To be grandparents. That's what it is. But yeah, he was like, thank you, man. Like, I needed that. Wow. And just relating to people, relating your story in a way. I think that's kind of what these songs I make are about. Not so much self-praise, but just like, yo, you may have it rougher, you may have it as rough or not as rough, but here's just my perspective on it all. Maybe you can apply it, because I'm trying to apply it.
If your father's still living, I beg you to forgive him, because he's just another man who has lost his religion. And me, I'm trying to find mine. The man in black been walking that line between faithful and infidelity.
A man who's lost his religion. Me, I'm trying to find mine. The man in black, I've been walking that line between faithful and infidelity. Like that Man in Black, that's a child. So Johnny Cash was one of the artists I dove deep into for this record. And man, he's had a very interesting life. Great music. And his comeback is, man. He had a great story. And even beyond what you see in Walk the Line movie. But that's all a reference to that, to Johnny Cash. The man in black, I've been walking that line between faithful and infidelity. She on MySpace. This is the first kind of version of DMs, kind of. Because Facebook was for students, but this MySpace was like, oh, rappers can get pussy on the internet now. She on MySpace and she telling me she want to come to the crib and do what? 19? Bruh. I remember somebody sent me a video. I might put it on Patreon, but it's me in the studio when I did She Needs Me with like Kendrick and Schoolboy Q and J-Rock and Ali mixing. I think Dave Free is the one filming. And bruh, I remember telling like one of them that day because they're like, they want to know about Roxy Reynolds when we get to that incident soon. But I was like, man, like, you know, I'm trying to get married. I just got engaged. I'm going to get married, blah, blah. Like, I don't have self-control, bro. It was less about me, you know, like to a kid that was addicted to pornography he started his addiction to pornography in the 3rd grade, finally being able to have sex with all different kind of women. And they would just approach you on the internet with pictures. Bruh. I was like, I need to, something like DJ Quick put out a mixtape around this time and he's like, something, never use a rubber and my dick's still working. I'm a lucky motherfucker.
Man, since the 80s, fucking all the ladies. Sometimes bareback, sometimes with a rubber and my dick still works. I'm a lucky motherfucker.
Bro, I heard that and I was like, yes, but no. I gotta stop. That was, I said, oh. Yeah, nah.
Man, the internet is a monster. Excuse my flow, it's my stream of conscious. I keep veering off on topics. It's just because y'all my favorite people to talk with. You know, I mean, I'm sorry to tell all my business, man. On the real, the nigga got a cold right now, man.
The internet is a monster. Excuse me, speaking just my stream of conscious. And he does this thing with my voice right there that I never heard until just now. What the fuck? That wasn't on the original version. But yeah, it's kind of like I just wrote that. I feel like I just wrote that right there. I don't know what happened. This is like it's completely thought out song or rhyme. It's just raw. And that's it. I keep veering off on topic. It's just because y'all are my favorite people to talk with. And maybe that's what I've been doing this whole time. And maybe that's why this podcast gets so much traction, because this is all I've been doing the whole time. And now I don't have to be fancy and give you guys a bad hook with it, or suck up some nice wonder beats so you listen. Maybe this is like we're finally in an era where I could just tell stories. And it's been a ride, y'all. And it continues with Murs for President. This is Mursinatra, probably Frank Sinatra as an entertainer, my favorite. Like, just, he's good, but he's not a great singer. Frank Sinatra's not a great singer. He's just like, that was my goal. Like, I'm not trying to wow you with my lyrical dexterity and my amazing voice, but decent, above average, and a great guy. Like, that's it. That's all I want to be. That's all, hopefully all I am. See y'all next week. Join Patreon, because there's a couple episodes of the Christmas, the Pay Dues. Should be 2 Pay Dues episodes up there pretty soon. And then I'll be back at it as soon as I can. Love y'all. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.